Hello, everybody. Dustin Starr here. Welcome to Memphis Wrestling, episode 154 Revenge live reaction. Let's talk all about it. I'll give you guys just a second to log in here. I put your ticket link over here in the chat. We're going to be live next on February 18th for our 3-year anniversary blockbuster super bout. And it looks like we're on the road to Super Bout, where it's going to be a major showdown for the Memphis Heritage Championship. The Monster Cruel has possession of the Memphis Heritage title, or at least Brooklyn and Cruel do. Will the gun show be cleared? Will the gun show be able to square off against Cruel at Super Bout 3? Those tickets are on sale right now at memphiswrestling.tv. That's February 18th. Also, we're going to make a major announcement coming up at who the feature guest is going to be on Sunday, February 18th to help us celebrate our 3-year anniversary blockbuster spectacular. So stay tuned. If you are a member of our members only here on YouTube, go ahead and join. It's only $3.99. You get a championship badge, also custom emojis, and you'll be the first to know who this feature guest is going to be because you already know who's coming up in March, on March 10th and March 24th, members only. You guys know we're going to drop that news there first, so go ahead and make sure you join that. Also, coming up March the 3rd, you can watch AEW Revolution absolutely free with us at Dave & Buster's in Memphis. And you saw on today's program, we are back at Strayhorn, Mississippi, benefiting the Strayhorn Band out at Strayhorn High School, and that's coming up on Saturday, February 24th. So we have back-to-back weeks. That's going to be awesome. I met with the Strayhorn Band, and they also showed me some photos of some of the props and outfits and things that they were able to get for their performances based off of the money raised at last year's fundraiser. So this year, I'm really, really looking forward to it because it'll be year 2 and things always pick up year after year after year. So get your tickets right now, memphiswrestling.tv. I see Media M5 in here saying, yo, what's going on? Bryn Dale says, hey, got a good question. All right, you guys, if you have questions or want to talk about today's episode, go ahead and put your question and comments here in the chat box. Also, fantastic performance from Big Swole Justin Cole. But can anybody stop the Monster Cruel? And for those of you who might be a little bit new with us, if you rewind back to 2023's Monster Brawl Battle Royal, the Monster Cruel won, which led him to the Grind City Rumble that just transpired here in January of 2024. He won that. Then he destroyed the gun show and took the Memphis Heritage Championship, hand-delivered it to the procurer of chaos, Brooklyn. And now we're on the road to Super Bout and don't know if the gun show can make it or not. So Cruel has had an absolute tear through Memphis wrestling since October. And even Big Swole Justin Cole couldn't finish off the Monster Cruel. Gun show is going to need an arm cast and add more damage to his lariat against Cruel at this rate. Totally agree. The gun show, without the gun show lariat, will he be as effective? But I think the question right now is, will the gun show even be cleared to compete? It's a true story. He had an MRI. You saw the bruising on his arm. It's literally purple. Those were posted here in the members only. And then I believe also some other ones, not so graphic ones, were posted on our social media pages. Now, to the extent of the newest injury, I'm not really sure, but stay tuned to Memphis Wrestling. Steve G says, good show, Dustin. I appreciate that. Brody the Rockstar, what's going on, my man? Brody, I would love for you and your family to come out to our 3-year anniversary coming up on February 18th, man. Text me about it. Robert, he says, Dustin, who do you pick for the Super Bowl? I think I got to pick the Chiefs. Patrick Moore, he says, was having a discussion with someone in the chat. Can you attest that being a promoter is hard? Sometimes things happen beyond control. Sometimes, like what's going on with Dave Marquez. Well, I don't want to speak about what's going on with Dave Marquez because if you go to his Facebook page, he'll tell you exactly what's going on with Dave Marquez. So he's answered all those questions. It is hard being a promoter, but if you're going to promote at a certain level, you have to be able to avoid or position yourself differently in those hard situations. So we've had a lot of hard situations here at Memphis Wrestling. You fans don't know about it because we don't let you know about it. You're not supposed to know about it. You're supposed to enjoy the program and complain about what you don't enjoy, not necessarily if there's going to be a show or not. I am actually on the fence about releasing our schedules ahead of time because I don't want people to be looking ahead. I want you to be looking at what's next, not what's coming up in 3 months or 2 months or whatever. So there has been a discussion about releasing all of our TV dates for the remainder of the year, or also, at least several months out, letting you guys know what the feature is that's coming. But then also, I want it to be a surprise when you see it. So I think those are the things that I worry about. Anyway, I hope I answered your question, Patrick. It is tough. If you want more information about Dave Marquez, just go to his Facebook page. He's like an open book. Brendale says, so Gun Show would go against two cool, two one-on-one in a handicap match. Brendale, I have no idea what you're talking about. Gun Show and Too Cool 2 are not even in a program together. All right, Kansas City Chiefs says, Brody, I'm thinking the Chiefs as well. Ralph says, bring Memphis Wrestling to Jackson, Tennessee. Oh, yeah. Well, we did have our fair event out in Jackson, Tennessee, and there were some shenanigans from some other wrestling promotions out there. But, yeah, I would expect to see us live in Jackson, Tennessee at some point. If not at the fair, then definitely somewhere in Jackson, Tennessee, because we've been on television there for many, many years. Also have a very strong partnership with WBBJ out there. And then some of our talent actually hails from Jackson, Tennessee, or at least right down the street from Jackson, Tennessee. And it's only about an hour or so from Memphis, Tennessee as well. So I would expect to see us in Jackson, Tennessee. But Ralph, you come see us in Memphis first, and then we'll bring Memphis Wrestling to Jackson, Tennessee. How about that? Jeffrey, what's up? Love that championship badge. He says, I like surprises. Keep the schedule close to your chest. Like, I know right now, and you do too, Jeffrey, because you're members only. It's been posted who March 10th and March 24th, what those features are going to be. And then also you'll be the first to know on February 18th who that feature guest is going to be. That's coming up probably today, but definitely within the week. But yeah, I've just been on the fence about that. For instance, WWE does not let you know exactly what's coming up. They will start hitting it and letting you know what I'm saying, like staggering it so there's more excitement instead of having all the excitement right now for, March the 10th when we still have February 18th coming up. Anyways, that's probably TMI. Rob says Lafayette videos were worth the membership. Well, good. There's the Mike Anthony Brian Cage that will be posted. I thought it was already up, but I double checked it. I don't think it is, but it will be up. All those matches in full. And Rob, you can attest to this. There are some things that happened at Lafayette's that we would never be allowed to put on television. And that is just the beginning, because we're going to return to Lafayette's Music Room coming up on May the 9th. That's a Thursday night. It'll probably be a little bit of a later bell time, and you just wait until you see the cast of characters that's going to be there. And yes, it's a Memphis wrestling show, but also it's being branded at Lafayette's as Bump and Grind Wrestling. So I would say Bump and Grind Wrestling presented by Memphis Wrestling, a tag team partnership there. So tickets will be on sale very, very soon. And also we're making some announcements about that very soon too. Brody, what do you think the score is going to be for the Super Bowl? I don't know, but my Super Bowl story is that one year we actually ran Super Bout on Super Bowl Sunday, and everybody thought I was crazy. And you know what? We had a packed house. Wrestling fans really don't care about the Super Bowl. How crazy is that? Rob says Big Swole has been in a slump since his partners betrayed him in the trios tourney. He's got a lot to prove coming up, and I know Big Swole very, very well, and you will see him come through on the other side. Eddie Kane, man, coming through on the other side. I love starting my Saturdays off with a great episode of Memphis Wrestling, and oh, happy day. Thank you for that $5 donation, Eddie Kane, man. I know that somebody is going to use that for a ticket to come to Super Bout 3. So thank you for that, Eddie Kane, man. Always good to see you here in the chat. And, of course, all your nice usage of the emojis as well. I love it. Oh, yeah. Patrick, thanks. I wanted that person to understand that things happen, but I'm excited for the new UWN content this month. Me too. I'm excited as well. It came from Thunder Studios. It does have a new name, a little bit of a different look, but still looks great. I've seen some of the footage. You guys are going to be happy with it. I really think what they are probably trying to do is make sure that they have enough footage in the can and get more TV dates scheduled. Because if you drop 3 episodes and then you don't have a return date, it's really hard to go on hiatus again. But I do know that United Wrestling Network has been in business for over 10 years. Dave Marquez has over 30 years experience in this. So he's definitely going to bring you some really good, exciting stuff coming up very, very soon. Again, tomorrow's United Wrestling Network or Championship Wrestling show is going to be another look back. So it's going to be another rerun, just so you guys know. but coming very soon, they'll have the new episodes because they're already in the can. Cook says, what's your favorite Super Bowl WrestleMania snack? Oh my gosh. Man, I really like some sliders, man. I like a hot dog too, because I don't get to eat too many hot dogs. But man, like during a Super Bowl or something, nachos. Man, I eat everything. Are you kidding me? A garbage disposal. Usually, my Maria will create certain snacks with wrestling names for WrestleMania. But here lately, we've had our watch parties at Dave and Buster's for a while now. Robert says, Dustin, how do you feel about Cody not being able to finish the story? I think that story's not finished. So stay tuned. Cody is going to finish his story, but they've got you guessing. We can't give you all the information right off the jump. That's what AEW does, right? So it's that long-term storytelling. So there's going to be some twists and turns, but I believe that Cody's going to get what's coming to him. What's up, Ronald? How are you? Big Swole versus Booker T says, Brendel, I'd love to see that. Lamb says the next TV taping will be 225 from Infinity Reality Studios. Live event with West Coast Pro Wrestling on 312 from Irvine Improv. I don't think 312 is a televised event, though. 225, yes, is a televised, I guess. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. They need to string a couple of those together and get some new footage out there. I would love that. Lafayette's definitely a lit crowd. Old school Dave, what's going on, my man? Later on tonight, I have a Memphis Hustle game at Lander Center. I'm on the PA tonight and tomorrow. The last 2 evenings, we'd have Memphis Grizzlies games. I host those games as well. And, of course, Memphis Wrestling. Man, it has been what a tremendous week. Also coming up this week, I think we have Grizzlies as well and a sold-out Lander Center for the education game for the Memphis Hustle. So, Patrick says, do you know when Reality of Wrestling drops a new episode? I don't know, but I think it's easy to find out. We do subscribe to the Reality of Wrestling YouTube page, and you should too. Keep up with it. Our guy Will Allday is the champion. Will Allday will be making his way to Memphis, Tennessee with the Reality of Wrestling Championship coming up very, very soon. I would imagine in the month of March. Hot dogs always a win. That's right. Patrick, I do like AEW. I like AEW as well, but they're not very good storytellers. John says, great show, Dustin. I appreciate that. Rob says, can't wait till UWN, Memphis Wrestling, and Reality of Wrestling become independent versus independent wrestling. I don't know if everybody wants to do the us versus them thing. I think what we should probably do is feature talent that you may or may not have heard of on our various programs. For instance, Will Allday, you might have heard of. Jacob Fatu, you've definitely heard of. But then a couple of the others at Reality of Wrestling are very, very good and on their way to getting to the next level, but you probably have not heard of them. So we can help in that regard. Wings are the best for football. All right, I'm with you on that. Brian says, hey, Dustin, thanks for always bringing the best wrestling action every week. Never miss an episode. Brian, I really appreciate that, man. You just made my day. Man, if you go back, did you watch episode 1 all the way till now, Brian? Robert's an AEW fan for life. Me too. What would you call the tag team CM Punk and Cody Rhodes? Man, what a surprise to see those guys as the final 2 in the Royal Rumble. Tuesday is Reality of Wrestling episodes. Thank you, Eddie Kane, man. Do you watch Eddie Kane, man? Who's your favorite on there? Lamb says, don't forget to get your Memphis Wrestling merch. Thank you for that, Lamb. Yes, you can get them shipped all over the world. Get your official Memphis Wrestling merch. You can go to championshipdrip.com or prowrestlingtees.com/Memphis Wrestling. Sorry, guys. Huh? Reese is sleeping. She told me to be quiet. Sorry, guys. No more Memphis Vince t-shirts. Patrick says, how do you feel about tribalism in wrestling? I like loyalty in wrestling, but not the kind of loyalty that makes you badmouth the competition. Like, I like all wrestling, even bad wrestling. I wish every wrestling show was sold out. And the reason why is because if the bad shows are sold out, I know mine are going to be sold out because ours are better than that. So I wish everybody would do well in wrestling. But the tribalism, I do like loyalty, but not what you're talking about. I don't think, Robert or Patrick, because it's not good. I mean, we're all fans of wrestling. If you don't like it, don't watch it. I think ROW drops Sunday evening. I usually watch on Monday. Memphis is best at long-term storytelling. Thank you, Rob. I mean, once you figure out that you're going to be around and you're not going anywhere, a lot of these characters, if you think about it 20 years from now, like we do classic Memphis wrestling, gosh, look at the tremendous tear that the gun show has had. DK and Ray even, like just coach and student. or Tim Grind and Lance, father-son storylines. I mean, it's just like this stuff is going to live forever, especially as long as we're going to stay around. Pizza goes well with Super Bowl Sunday. That's right, Robert. Good job. Brian says, yes, since day one. Oh, wow. So you've seen a lot of all the changes that have happened and transpired. Your thoughts on Punk going down with another tricep injury? I think it's very unfortunate. Extremely unfortunate. Will Allday is my favorite, and I do watch Reality of Wrestling. Awesome. He's my favorite too. Mike Duggan says, live in St. Louis, and y'all doing great on Memphis Wrestling. Definitely will roll through to see a live event. Mike, you let me know. Email us at championshipwrestlingmemphis@gmail.com or hit us up at memphiswrestling.tv, and I will help you out with a hotel and a ticket discount for traveling from St. Louis. We'd love to have you. You should bring in Matt Riddle. Brendel, I don't know that the Wrestle Center is big enough for Matt Riddle. And I say that with all due respect. I think he would cost more than if I sold the Wrestle Center 5 times over. Yes, John, support local wrestling. I appreciate that. Rob says, Will all damn day moves like a lucha. Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. Booker T couldn't have a better champion out there at Reality of Wrestling. John says, I just love Memphis for the nostalgic Saturday feel of old school quality product. John, we've had people tell us that we need to, and I do think we need to change the lighting a little bit, but not to darken it or anything. You should have these LED boards. You should do this. You should do that. Blah, 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 blah. No, I love the classic feel of what Memphis wrestling is. Sure, it could be polished up just a little bit, but it's a regional based independent wrestling organization with a tremendous television reach and social gathering that feels like something bigger than that sometimes. And maybe I'm jaded because, I'm a homer. But in the live chat a second ago, you guys were talking about everybody comes through Memphis. And man, like literally everybody from Tommy Dreamer to Josh Alexander, Crazy Steve, Enzo, Prince Nana, Brian Cage, James Storm, Eric Young. Man, I was looking at one page of this book. Look, I'll share this with you guys. I don't want to get too far behind. Storytelling is top notch. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This book was made by some of my friends here at the Wrestle Center just out of appreciation, which they told some stories in here. But I'm looking at one page, and you're looking at guys like Alan Angels, Jimmy Valiant, Gangrel, AJ Francis, Tommy Dreamer, Ellsworth, Lindsay Dorado, Chris Masters, Prince Nana, Jerry Lynn, Warhorse, Gabe Sapolsky, Darren Young, Mickey James, Deanna Perrazzo, Al Capone, Tom Pritchard, King Cobra, Brandon Cutler, just all on one page from 2023. I mean, it's absolutely incredible. And I'll show that just so you guys can see it while I read a couple of the comments here. What's one thing you're excited about that you haven't shared yet, but you can hint about? We're going to do more sporting events this year. So not just Memphis Redbirds and Memphis Grizzlies. We're going to do additional sporting events this year. So that's something that I'm really excited about. I can't wait to drop the news. What if Brady or Reese ran Memphis Wrestling one day? I would love that, Cook. That would be great. Hey, Andrea, how are you? Brendel says CM Punk versus Seth Rollins for the heavyweight championship. Rob says, who was surprised when the sexy assassins were revealed? That is a gimmick that Brian Christopher made many, many years ago for those guys. Can't believe this year marks 5 years of the partnership of Memphis and UWN. That's pretty outstanding, right, Lamb? Who would have thought anybody could get along with Dave Marquez that long? That's a joke, by the way. That was a joke. I love Dave. I love you, Dave. That was a joke. Thank you. Appreciate it. The product of old school. It's Memphis vibe and attitude like local wrestling used to be here. Oh, yeah. Love that, Mike. Looking into the summer for my venture to Memphis. Crossing my fingers. I hope to see you, Media M. Glenn says footage on Raw and SmackDown was Memphis when Terry Funk versus Jerry. Yep. Too Cool 2. Two Trick Geo and Draco to get their revenge. How about you? I can't wait to see it. I know it's not over. The stripped down Wrestle Center old school. I love it. Anyway, just giving you guys a glimpse at a little behind the scenes there. Drugs Bunny explained Jack Sin's actions. I cannot speak on that. I cannot confirm nor deny anything transpired, Rob. Trust me, I was like that. What the heck? Hi, Dustin. Love how Bailey was one step ahead of Damage Control and SmackDown. How about you? I love Bailey. I think Bailey's going to win the title. I think I don't know that Io was necessarily ready to be the champion. Brian says, love the look and the vibe that Memphis Wrestling brings. Classic look and awesome stars. Thank you. I appreciate you, Brian. Thank you so much, man. I'm glad you guys watch. John says, I'm on a road trip to Michigan this summer since I own my car now. Good job, John. Nicely done. Neat gift by the fan of doing a photo album of the 2023 guests. Like a who's who of wrestling. That's exactly right. All right, I got a couple minutes here, guys. I do have a Memphis Hustle game tonight, so I'll be back on the microphone at Lander Center today and tomorrow. We have training at the Wrestle Center all week, Monday and Wednesday. If you're interested in training, hit us up, WrestleCenter901.com. We have a boatload of excellent trainees that I cannot wait to introduce to you guys. So much so that we're actually thinking about another Stars of Tomorrow program. So stay tuned for that in the coming months. Also, NXT is live in Clarksville, Tennessee tomorrow. That's near Nashville. And be on lookout while you're watching NXT Vengeance. I think that's it, right? Terrence, is it Valentine's Vengeance or something like that? But anyways, tomorrow's NXT event is going to be outstanding. Keep your eyes peeled because that's right down the street from Memphis, Tennessee, and you never know who might show up on that program. How happy were you to see Jordynne Grace appear at the Royal Rumble and know that she broke down the door at our Grind City Rumble? Absolutely loved it. Jordynne Grace was fantastic. If you remember, the last time that happened, Mickie James was the Knockout World Champion. She appeared at the Royal Rumble and then came straight over to Memphis and appeared at our Super Bout where we had Nick Aldis versus Jonathan Gresham for the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Championship. You can watch that in the archives right now on this YouTube program. I actually reached out to Jordynne Grace and I tried to get her, but right now she is highly in demand, or else I would have tried to repeat that again. But I would stay tuned. I expect that Jordynne Grace and Jonathan Gresham will both make an appearance at Memphis Wrestling in 2024, especially if I have anything to do with it. Andrew says, hi, Dustin. I hope the gun show gets revenge on Cruel soon. How about you? Man, I really hope the gun show is able to pull through at Super Bout. If not, what happens? Who fights Cruel? Does Cruel just get the championship officially? Lots of questions. Wish she would have won the Royal Rumble. That would have been awesome. Reggie Cook, that Jordynne Grace was something. I wish she would return to Memphis Wrestling sometime. She will. Andrea says, hi, Dustin. Oh, she will unless she heads over to WWE. What match are you looking forward to seeing on NXT Vengeance Day tomorrow? I'm looking forward to seeing all the stuff that happens around Vengeance tomorrow, if you know what I'm saying. Brody says, Dustin, I have a question. If you had to pick a WWE wrestler, if you had to pick any WWE wrestler, who would it be? Just curious. Like, as far as me booking a WWE wrestler, no, it'd be The Rock, right? Or Roman Reigns, right? Or John Cena. Might as well start at the top. The vibe in Memphis Wrestling is why I fell in love with wrestling. The pyro just distracts from a poor product. Well, we don't have the budget for pyro. And then also, I think the fire marshal would shut us down. But maybe sometime when we're at FedEx Forum or something like that, we'll have some pyro. All right, guys, that's all the time that I have today. Thank you for joining me for the live chat and also the live reaction. If you missed the episode, I would highly recommend going back and checking it out. Patrick says, hey, if you can get Jonathan Gresham, how about Jonathan Gresham versus Tim Bosby in a Pure Rules match? Quite possibly. Andrew says, hi, Dustin. Love seeing Crowley, James Storm, Brian Cage. James Storm and Brian Cage. Love seeing Cowboy James Storm and Brian Cage in Memphis Wrestling. How about you? I loved it. I would expect that they would be back at some point on our television program. What's up, Taylor? How are you? T King, what's up? Brody? Mine would be Charlotte Flair. She would actually be very, very good at Memphis Wrestling. I wish. Anyway, that's all the time that I have for today. I will see you guys next week right here on the program. Remember, every Saturday we are brand new, Saturday at noon. Also, be sure to join, just like Eddie Kane may right here. He gets to watch the show on Fridays before everybody else. And then also, it's cool that there's never any spoilers, so I appreciate that. 4-way for the belt. Cruel versus Toomer versus Gun Show versus Swole. Wow, that would be tremendous. I will tell you that the Super Bout card is absolutely loaded, and you will see it unfold here on Memphis Wrestling coming up. But one would have to think, just based off of the stories that we currently have, you know basically what's coming at Super Bout in addition to the gun show and Cruel for the Memphis Heritage Championship. And in the coming weeks, you're going to find out as well. So stay tuned. Huge announcement coming this week. It's all the time I have. Hopefully I'll see you guys next week, if not before then. I am Dustin Starr. This was the live reaction for episode 154, Revenge. Oh, yeah. See you guys.